Nottingham Forest striker Chris Wood just showed us once again why he's the most clinical striker in the Premier League this season. With 18 goals from less than 50 shots so far, Wood literally has the best conversion rate in the league. The 33-year-old is not only enjoying the best season of his life, but also bringing his team much closer to their European dreams. But while all the buzz is about Wood's goals and his overachieving team, an inside scoop into his life outside the pitch tells you everything that you need to know. From his early days in New Zealand to the luxurious life behind the scenes, net worth, and everything in between, this is Chris Wood's lifestyle. Christopher Grant Wood was born on December 7, 1991 in Auckland, New Zealand. His mother, Julie, is of English descent. Growing up, Woods' father, Grant Wood, was responsible for nudging his son towards professional football after spotting his knack for the game early on. Woods' first club was Nottingham Sports. He trained there as a child until 2002. Encouraged by his parents, Wood began to take the sport more seriously. At age 11, the Wood family moved to the Waikato rural town of Cambridge, where he registered to play junior football with the local club. I should also mention that Chris's younger sister, Chelsea, was also following in his footsteps, and they began to train in the same club, sometimes playing against each other during their free time. Wood remained in Cambridge for the next 4 years, rising up the ranks. The youngster made his senior debut with Cambridge in the NRFL Division 2 at only 14 years old, after which he had a short spell with the local rivals Hamilton Wanderers in the NRFL Premier. By now, Wood was attracting the attention of the much bigger clubs and had also played a few games for Waikato FC in the ASB Premiership. When Wood turned 16, his mother decided it was time to head for England. Wood was recommended to West Bromwich Albion's academy by coach Roger Wilkinson, who then set up a trial for him. Following a string of impressive performances, Wood was called up to the reserve team, where he also made his mark. In no time, Wood would get a surprise call-up to the first team for a Premier League match against Portsmouth in April 2009. Coming in as a substitute, Wood became only the 5th New Zealander to play in the Premier League, and he subsequently signed his first professional contract at the end of the 2008 and 9 season. Wood had a slow start to life in the English Premier League, however, and this would kickstart his journeyman era that lasted almost a decade. Like many young strikers in the league, Wood had to carve his path through numerous loan spells in the Championship at Barnsley, Brighton and Hove Albion, Birmingham City, Bristol City, and Millwall. These loan spells allowed him to adapt to the demands of English football. Wood joined Leicester City in January 2013 and remained with the club for the next 2 years before joining Ipswich on a temporary basis. After a solid 8 seasons of Championship football, Woods' big break came at Leeds when he took his killer instincts at the goal to new heights. With 44 goals in only 88 appearances across 2 seasons, it was clear that Chris Wood had now matured into a well-oiled machine unit inside the box 18. His 30 goals in 48 games in the 2016 and 17 season saw him win the EFL Championship Golden Boot, make the EFL Team of the Season, and also win the Leeds United Player of the Year award. And finally, after a decade of grinding in the Championship, it was time for Premier League football. On August 21, 2017, Wood signed a 4-year contract with Burnley for a fee reported to be £15 million. The Kiwi picked up from where he left, notching double figures for goals in all of his full seasons at Burnley. Wood spent almost half a decade with the Clarets, and during that time, we saw him cement his reputation as one of the consistent strikers in the league. But fueled by the need for even more growth, Wood decided to make a move to Newcastle in January 2022 for a fee reported to be £25 million. He was the club's second signing since the takeover from a Saudi-backed consortium. But it turned out to be a bad move because Woods' opportunities were now limited due to the club's high-profile signings. Fortunately for Wood, an opportunity to join Nottingham Forest on loan would present itself midway through the 2022 and 2023 season. The deal was made permanent for a fee of £15 million at the end of the season, and the rest, they say, is history. Wood finished last season as Nottingham Forest's top goal scorer, with 15 goals, but has already broken the glass ceiling with 18 goals from only 27 games as at the time of this recording. I should also mention that in October last year, Wood became the first Nottingham Forest player and the first New Zealander to win the Premier League Player of the Month award. He's also now Forest's all-time leading goal scorer in the Premier League. We could go on and on with the achievements, but how good is Chris Wood in front of the goal? We've come to know the 33-year-old as someone who thrives against the odds. His knack for scoring decisive goals has been extremely vital in Nottingham Forest's push for Champions League football. His spatial awareness, positioning, hold-up play, and aerial dominance make him a nightmare to defenders. At 6'3", Wood is quite an intimidating presence in the box, and he's the kind of traditional target man who thrives in aerial duels and set pieces. This makes him an all-important outlet for Nottingham Forest when playing long balls. However, Wood really shines in his predatory instincts. Most of his goals have come from inside the box, showcasing his poacher's instincts and the ability to convert with limited opportunities. On the opposite end of the spectrum is Woods' elite work rate, which has been crucial to Nuno Espirito Santo's high-intensity tactical approach. On the international stage, Wood captains the New Zealand national football team and has scored over 40 goals for the All Whites. Add that to his club goals and we have a late bloomer with over 200 career goals. Not too shabby, but here's where it gets really interesting. Outside of the pitch, Wood has a lifestyle that we could best describe as glamorous. The Nottingham Forest striker got married to his long-term partner Emma Lovell in June 2024. The footballer had a lavish wedding in a former 11th century palace turned hotel on a cliff overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea in Italy. Close relatives and friends were in attendance, and Woods' best man was fellow footballer Tommy Smith. 4 months after their wedding, the couple revealed that they're expecting a baby girl, their first child. Emma is a solicitor by profession. She's been expressive about her relationship with Wood on social media. Before meeting Emma, Wood was in a relationship with fellow footballer Kirsten Lynette. When the New Zealander isn't sweating it out on the pitch or on the training ground, you'll find him taking vacations in Miami and watching the NBA games, or probably visiting exotic destinations in the Caribbean islands, and having fancy dinners with his wife. Wood is also an avid golfer, and he maintains a respectable 8 handicap. Wood plays golf twice weekly during the off-season. If you're lucky, you might catch him hanging out with family and friends on a golf course. When it comes to properties, we can't say for sure what Woods' mansion in Trentside looks like, but there's no doubt that it's going to be magnificent. The word on the street is that Wood lives in a 6-bedroom mansion that features an indoor pool, a gym, and a private football pitch with professional lighting for evening training sessions. Wood also owns a holiday home in New Zealand, which is said to have a golf simulator worth $100,000. A sneak peek into the striker's garage reveals a Range Rover autobiography worth almost $200,000, a Bentley Continental GT worth $250,000, and a few others. Safe to say, Wood is a bit of a petrolhead. Wood also owns scores of limited edition sneakers in his closet and expensive timepieces. But how is Wood able to afford such an extravagant lifestyle? Just last month, Wood signed a new deal with the Forest, extending his contract to 2027. This deal makes him the second highest paid player in the club, only behind Nikola Milinkovic. Wood earns £90,000 a week, which adds up to around £4.7 million a year. Endorsement deals also bring in some serious cash. The Forest striker reportedly earns $300,000 from New Zealander sports retailer Rebel Sports, and also has lucrative endorsement deals with Puma and CAA Base. The 33-year-old also owns shares in multiple Auckland-based real estate developments and is also rumored to have a 30% stake in a sports recovery center in Wellington that is valued at over $1.2 million. Doing the math, we expect Woods' net worth to be over $13 million. But despite making an insane amount of money throughout his playing career, Wood has managed to stay grounded and has been involved in several charitable causes in England and New Zealand. Wood was part of a campaign that challenged social media companies for their role in online abuse and racism towards players. The 33-year-old has also shown solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement in the past. Over the course of his career, Wood has managed to keep his nose clean for the most part and avoided controversy. But boy, is he making a splash with Nottingham Forest this season. As a football fan, what's your favorite thing about Chris Wood on and off the pitch? And also, how do you like Forest's chances for a top 4 finish?